Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Danny's Life and Travel. And today I'm gonna cover a lot of stuff about what's been going on in the past week. So we're gonna give you another update on the AMD stock for this week, and then what's happening in the future. So I have a lot to get through, so I'm just gonna jump right in here. So number one, you can see this chart. So I'm just gonna answer the question, where do you think it's gonna go in the future? So you can see from this chart, I mean, this isn't my chart, somebody else put this together and they posted it online, and it looks pretty good. So basically it's showing you where all the supports are. So every high becomes a support. So that's the high and that's the support. So from where it is right now, so it's gone all the way down, it's going to go back up. That's essentially what they're saying. So so it says oversold condition plus support line, buy aggressively now and wait for earnings. So that's what many people think right now. If it was me, if I had the cash, I would go in stage by stage. So I'd put a chunk in here, and then I'd wait and see if it's going to turn. And if it went down a little further, put another chunk. If it went down further, put another chunk. Okay, and until I ran out of cash or it turned, right? And then I'd leave the last piece. I'd leave last bit of money until it has turned and it's confirmed an upward trend, and then I would put it in there. But anyway, this is the main chart, the main thing of today that I just wanted to share with you. So what's been going on during the week? Why has the stock been down? So firstly, let me show you the stock. So the stock has been going down ever since that. So we had this was normal, it came down here, it was up, so a bit of consolidation here, and this is where Goldman Sachs downgraded us. So it went all the way down there, and then a bit of a recovery the next day, and then down. So for me, what I was looking at this point was, I didn't sell out here, I was still in, and at this point, because it's level with here, with this point here, where it had gone down before, and because people go off perception and what they perceive will happen. So what happened here was, when this was rise and launch happened around this point here, I think it was February 28, I think, yeah, February 28, I think, or yeah, so it happened around this point anyway, can't remember exactly what day. So after rise and launch, the reviews were mixed. So they had the 1080p games that weren't really performing, and everything else was fine, and they were doing really well on the multi-threading stuff. So so the stock came down. I bought in a chunk here somewhere. I think it's at 14, actually 14.42. I bought in another chunk. I put in some more money, but anyway, it came down, and then it found its low here, and then it went back up again. So because of this, and Jim Cramer said on CNBC that if it, there's a lot of hot money in there, let it get out, and when it gets to 12 and a half, you should buy in. That's what he said around this point here. So this is why it was a key point, because in people's minds, like I said before, I don't have 100% faith in Jim Cramer, but it's perception. People perceive him to know what he's talking about, and so they're going to follow him. So this is what happened. The proof is there, because it went sideways on that day, because people perceive that to be a key support, right? So it went sideways on that day. So I was also, I was hopeful as well. I thought, okay, so it's going to go sideways. Maybe he'll do the same thing, go a couple of days sideways and then cover. But then it went down further. Okay, so then the next key point support becomes here. It's at 12.07. But as you can see on that chart that I showed you, this guy has done the same thing, similar, but his line is pretty thick. So it's made it up to that point, so it's saying, okay, we're there, it's time to buy, start buying, and it'll go back up. And he's managed to make it work for each support line. So it could work, I mean, or it could go down a little further. So I'm gonna show you as well what's been happening, and then I'm also going to show you why I think it's going to go up in the future. And they're very compelling arguments, and you'll see. So firstly, I thought, maybe it's the stock itself. Maybe people don't like the stock, they've turned their back on the stock, and same with Nvidia, because you can see, where's Nvidia gone? Nvidia's down as well, right? 95. The consensus for Nvidia is $90, so it's very close to its consensus. The target price for AMD by Goldman Sachs was $11, right? So worst case scenario, go down to 11 and then pop back up. Yeah, that's the thinking. I mean, could go down lower, but very doubtful. But anyway, let's have a look at the rest of it. So first I thought it was it's just these stocks, the AMD and Nvidia, maybe they're against them. But then if you look at Facebook has gone down as well, right? So I mean, it's consistently gone down. It's very similar. If you look at the charts, they're very similar. So this one starts at March 29, decline. This decline starts from April the 3rd, very close. And this one starts at March 30th, even closer, right? March 29, March 30th, very close. So they're very similar. The only one that doesn't make any sense is Shopify. Shopify has been going up and up and up and up. I mean, I could have just gone into this. I would have got better results. But the point is, it keeps going up, but things have affected it as well. Here you can see these declines here, and again, this is March 29, March 30th. So I think the world around us is affecting the situation. And if you look at, I'll just show you CNBC for a minute. You look at all the news headlines. What does it say? North Korea officials, we will go to war if they choose, right? It's all doom and gloom. It's all negative stuff. It wasn't like this a few months ago or even a few weeks ago. I mean, all the headlines weren't negative. And you got the French election as well. So it's all negative, negative, negative. And then we've got Trump as well, who dropped the mother of all bombs in Afghanistan. It's the biggest bomb next to a nuke. So, I mean, if that doesn't raise eyebrows, what does, right? So you've got all that going on. And what is that doing to the market, right? Yeah, to illustrate this, I've got the volatility index here. Yeah, this is the index that measures volatility, meaning if people are scared, right, this is gonna go up. If people are calm and they're all right, this will go down. And there is another index for fear. So I'm not saying it's the fear index. I'm just saying, that when people are nervous, when something makes them nervous, this goes up. So you can see the good correlations here. I mean, it's at 15 now. It was at on March 29. It was at 19, right? So our problem started at March 29, March 30th, I think, something like that. So let me have a look, confirm that. So yeah, March 30th, March 31st. Okay, so where's the VIX gone? Here you go. So if you look at this, November time, this is the election. You see where it's at, it's 22. If you look at, this was the referendum in the UK, it's at 23. Right? This is where people are scared, people thinking, well, what's going to happen? Is the stock market going to go down? And it does, right? So you got these 2 points here, and this was January, February, I think. No, this is January, February. Yeah, this is last year, 2015. So you can see all the correlations here, and then I want to do another chart with you guys just to illustrate this. So this is the SPX. I look at this, and the key rule with this chart is, and this is a very good one if you want to ever just make money and get in at the perfect time. If you want to get in at the perfect time where you're pretty much 90% plus guaranteed you'll make money, use this one. Okay, so what does this chart mean? The SPX 50, right? Basically, every time this goes down to 25 or below, right? Or anything close to 25, I'd say. Go between the 30 and 25 range, I'd say, right? That means, basically, it means the majority of stocks have sold off in the market. If they've sold off. So if the majority of stocks have sold off, then it's time to buy. And you can see the correlation here. So this is November time. You see there, it's at 30. And then you've got, this is June. This is the Brexit. So again, you can see it's at 35, going all the way down to, past 20, 25 there. So that one is there. And then this is very close. It's like 27 to 30 marker here, right? And this is February time, which is way down. Yeah, so guaranteed. I mean, this one I made money here because I came in around, what was it, January time. So you can see I was at the 25 mark, and I made money on it, absolutely. And then this one again, November time, again I got in, I made money. And then now, if you look at it, where is it at? It's 43, right? 43, and it all started. Let me just go to the daily chart and let's see if we can find the dates when it went to. Yeah, so you got March the 6th, it started to decline. March the 20th, there, 27, right? So the major decline has come in the past couple of days. The biggest bomb he's deployed and destroyed. I don't know what he destroyed in Afghanistan. I think it was caves and people. But it's had a huge decline. So that means people have sold off their shares, right? So it'll soon be time to buy. So if it's at 43, it may drop further. This is what I was talking about on the chart. There's a possibility it could go further down. So if it goes down to $11, possible. This could be at 35, maybe even 30. It's possible because if you look at the last day, it's gone from close to the 58 marker down to 43. So huge. It could do the same again. It could go huge all the way down to 30. Yeah. And at that point, it's time to buy. You'd buy this definitely at that point. If I wasn't in it, I would be in it at that point. That's why I said, if I was out right now, I would put a chunk of cash in here and then let it go down further, put another chunk of cash, because I know it's coming to the 30 marker and then it'll go back up. Either at 25 or 30, it'll go back up. And if not, you just hold and it'll go back up, because the majority of the market sold off. Then all that they can do is buy back in at some point when they feel confident. So that's what's going on there. So we've gone through all of this. So I think generally the market is down, right? You have some special cases like Shopify, which I can't understand why it just keeps going up, but it still is affected to some extent. You can see that. But generally I think it's the market that's hitting it. So we've got three issues here. We had the Goldman Sachs downgrade. So that was there. Then on top of that we had negative news, bad news, in the general market, meaning the world events and things that are going on. On top of that we had the Trump situation, where Trump in the beginning, remember in November time, around this time, this is AMD's chart. So November time, this was all hopes and dreams, because we're hoping he'd do tax reform, which would bring extra money in for all the companies, including AMD. And we were hoping he'd do all the things he said he'd do. He's saying he's going to repeal Obamacare, he's going to do infrastructure spending. And infrastructure spending, again, you need to deploy commodities and you need computing power to design bridges and all that kind of stuff. So all of it was hopes and dreams. So at this point, there's a bit of a deflation going on as well. So if you look in banking stocks, it's more prevalent. You can see it really in banking stocks, where they're having a kind of a correction, because again, the banks were raised up high because they thought multiple interest rate hikes, Janet Yellen's going to go, all this kind of stuff. And they thought it'd be good for us, So all his hopes, all his dreams, basically, that he pumped to people, he told people, they're not really, becoming reality. He's having problems, so he can't pass his Obamacare bill. There was Paul Ryan came out and said he's going to move on from that and go on to tax spending, a tax reform, sorry. And now recently I read a news report saying, well, he's put Obamacare at the top of his agenda again. He's going to get that one done. So again, it's mixed messages, and people don't know where he stands exactly. So you've got Trump as a problem. We've got the world events with North Korea. That's an issue. But the key thing isn't North Korea, because it's always been there. And the key thing isn't Syria, it's always been there. The key problem here is Trump and how he will react to these situations and what he will do. I think that's the fear there. and people were going to gold. I don't know if I have the gold one on here, but I'll just show you if I can. Okay, so see if I can get into the gold one. Basically, gold has been going up. I couldn't get a long-term chart at the moment, but gold has been going up and up and up. And it's always a safety play. You know, when people feel scared, they'll go into gold. When people feel safe, gold will start going down. So if you see gold going up, people are scared. So anyway, that's the gold thing. Let me just see if I can show you something else. What else was I looking at? So I was looking at the Nasdaq and the SPX and all these. So this is the S&P 500. If you look at it again, declining. So this tells you the top 500 companies in the US, right, are collectively, if you take them all together, on average, they're going down. They're not going up, right? So they're losing share price. So it just reinforces the belief that the market's in a downward trend. So it's going down, 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 and this started on March the 1st. And if you look at some of the others, so if you look at, where is it gone, to the Wix, this is the Nasdaq. So if you look at Nasdaq, again, March the 1st, just like on the S&P 500, it stops going up. It's more sideways action, right? And then March 30th, you know, this correlates perfectly with the AMD chart and the Nvidia chart. And think about Nvidia. I mean, Nvidia makes good money, is profitable, right? Yes, they're going to lose some market share. Yes, they're going to have some issues, you know, in the short term. But in the long term, they're going to be fine. They're going to make money, no problem, right, in years to come. And people are not thinking about those forward projections. They're just looking at now. But if you look at that chart and you compare all three charts together, it's the same correlating downward trend. But this is the Nasdaq. So Nasdaq is a composite, so it takes into account all the tech stocks. So on average, it's saying if you take into account all the tech stocks and you look on average, we're going downwards and downwards and downwards and downwards, right? And now it's below its 50-day moving average. So it's a good chance to go back up, you know, from here. And maybe go on par with that if it's going sideways. So there's a good chance of that. Or it could go further down. But again, there's the outside world where, you know, that's what's affecting it, I think. For AMD, it's a good company. I don't see any problems in the future. But I'm just going to show you why. So this is the Nvidia chart. So we have right now, we had the Ryzen 5 launch in this past week, so on the 11th. So that should have made the stock go up for AMD, and as you can see, it just kept going down, down, down. It didn't even blink. This is April 10, April 11, right? Down. April 11, it just started to go down. So it didn't make it shift. But the reason why I'm pulling up the Nvidia chart is because it's very similar. So last year Nvidia had its product launches, right? And it took it time, you know, to ramp up and sell them, and then for those figures, the sales figures, to show up in the earnings. And it's the same thing with AMD this year. It's launching all its products, and the figures from those new launches will start showing up so there'll be some partial numbers in May's earnings. So May the 1st is earnings, so there'll be some partial showing there. I think it's for 1 month's worth, but then there'll be forward guidance as well, which will be good. I think that'll be positive. But going forward from there, the real numbers will be shown around August time. So you can see with Nvidia stock, it starts to go up. So this is, I think this is May, April. So you see how it jumps up, right? So we'll have a similar kind of thing. If the world, you know, around us, if the world, basically you've got Nasdaq and everything else is going upwards, the market is going upwards because world events are okay within the next 2 weeks, I'm hoping, then yeah, it'll go up. and if the world events are not good, if the environment is crap, then the stock will just be either it'll be flat, or we may even have another decline. But overall, what do I see? I don't see this situation lasting forever. I think later on, when you start seeing numbers, real numbers, they can't ignore it anymore. Stock will go up. So you got August time will be a key one where you'll have full numbers for Ryzen 7, some Ryzen 5 in there as well, and also some of the Vega, because Vega is going to be launched in June. So a couple of months, maybe some Vega in there as well. So it'll be a good mix. So August will be a key one, and then November will be the real one, because that's when you'll have everything pretty much in there, and it should be huge numbers in November. And you can see what happened to Nvidia. Based on the numbers, 25% gain in a day, and then up and up and up. I mean, this is also boosted by the Trump rally. So we can't just take it on its own. But it just shows you that the numbers do matter. But if the market's up with it, then that's perfect. Make it go higher, and that's what we're looking for AMD. So that's everything I think I've covered today. So I think it is going to go up in the future. It's just a matter of waiting, and there are down periods. I think they've happened before. I think there was a chart where I was looking at on here. So we've had downtrends. So this is AMD again. So if you look at this one, it's from December to January, is a couple of weeks. August, what is it? 15, right? No, that's August. August 15, 2016. From there to September 12. Yeah. So actually, it starts dropping at August 29, and then so basically the point is it's 2 weeks. 2 weeks from there to there, 2 weeks there to there, and this has been 2 weeks. So there's a chance it'll go back up. So I'm still hopeful that it'll go up, but that's in the short term. Next few days I'm hopeful, but long term, yes, definitely it will go up. Yeah, there was a key question that was asked to me. I was asked, where do you think it'll be in a year? Will it be higher? And the answer is yes. Yeah, I did a correlation. Let me just go back and show you one more thing on this. See if I can do this. So basically I was looking at this. So this is 2006, right? The last time AMD had high-end graphics cards and high-end CPUs, right, was in 2006. And the stock was at $41. That's how far up it went. Now, if you have a look at this and you look at the lowest amount was $5 and the highest amount is $41, I averaged it out that if you split the difference between the two, it's about $17.50. It's about there, right? And that's where we should be. That's the average between the two, right? But that's the lower average. And if you look at the $5 mark, that was in 2003. Now, if you want to get an accurate picture, I know people say, well, look, maybe their financial position was different. Maybe they weren't in debt, or all these kinds of things. So this is why I'm taking it from 2003. So this is over a 3-year period, right? Over a 3-year period, which kind of distorts it to the lower end, right? And even at that point, it's at 17.5. So anything that it just tells me that, look, it's going to go higher than that. At the bare minimum, it'll be $17.50. Otherwise, it's going to go higher than that. So this is one of the things I was looking at, and I was thinking, yeah, it makes good sense. So yeah, I think I've covered everything. If there's anything else I missed, please let me know. But majority of the time, when I look at the my list, you can see on the right hand side here, it's all red. It's all red. I mean, in the past few days, it's been all red, and I just see the VIX going up and up and up, and it's all red. Even Micron Technologies, this is my canary in the coal mine. So you can see Micron Technologies here, it's at $26, right? This one on earnings, it had amazing earnings, really good earnings, right? I'll just quickly show you before I end this video. But if you look at this, this is the chart. So this is where it was, the $26, right? And on earnings, and earnings were really good, and it went up to 28. And even this has fallen down. Why the hell has this fallen down? And again, it correlates from March the 30th, right? Same date for all of the charts. And this is a semiconductor, right, that is undervalued. So I'll show you how undervalued this is. So I'll just show you all of it so you can see how the outside world is affecting this thing. So number one, this was the earnings, right? So the earnings, the expectation was really high anyway from the last one, super high right there, and they beat it. And then they had great forward guidance, and then you've got the price. So it's at a buy, yeah, not a strong buy, at a buy, and the current price is here. the lowest average, right, is at 38.63, and the highest is at 60. You know, so it's way undervalued, this stock, but still it's down. You know, even being undervalued, still it doesn't make any sense that it would go to the 28, nearly 29, and then drop down to 26. Why would that happen? Makes no sense, right? So I think it's external factors. I think it's more the world around us, and once that picks up and it starts pushing things forward, upwards, then everything will start picking upwards as well. And how long will that last? I think the wild card here is Trump himself. So we've just got to wait and see. But I'm hoping he'll calm down. You know, he's already backtracking on everything he's saying about currency manipulation, and you know, backing. He's trying to back Wall Street, but the problem is nobody believes him because he switches sides so quickly. So I hope he can clear that up and sort it out at some point. But anyway, guys, this has been a long video, so I'm gonna end it here. It's like 27 minutes now. So if you have any comments, questions, please let me know. If you're in the stock, be long and strong, you'll be fine. I'm still in it. I'm still in profit, by the way. I could get out right now and you know, go into something else, but no. You know, it's always when the stock is down, that's when you're tempted to sell. But that's the time to buy, especially when it's oversold. And you know, this stock is oversold. You can see it from that chart. So if you go off the RSI and the MACD indicators, everything is oversold right now. So right now the time isn't to panic. The time is to stay in or buy in, and then keep it going. Someone else said to me, he said, if I said, if your stock went down by another 10%, would you sell? And I was told that if that happened, I'd mortgage my house, finance my car, everything, and keep pumping it in all the way down, and then it'll go back up and make my money. That was the response I got, right? So that's the thinking, and that's how people make money. So stick with it, guys. It'll work out in the end, and you'll make some money. So anyway, guys, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.